Okay, I'm doing a fun project where I've already ombre'd the background. So let me share how I made that happen. I did citrus green across here, stopped, and then I picked up blues. So I rubbed in the ocean view, and then I kept picking up cobalt, and I took cobalt on up, and then I tapped off some of the paint and grabbed the perfect purple and dioxazine purple and let it dry, and I'm ready to go. So I have a package for this, but I wanted to do a fun little how-to painting for it. And what we're going to use on here is we're going to use some purples and some magentas, and I'm just going to add them right here to my palette. So let's add some magenta, and we're going to get some great purple colors, and then we are going to add a little bit more white because I will need some white in here. Okay, let me grab my purple so that we can continue our pretty colors here. I've got Juneberry, and we are going to look at some of the colors that we used in there. Like we're going to have some cobalt flowers. So let's look across here at the citrus. I've got that, but what I need is just a pretty purple. All right, so I have purple here. I know I do. I have violet pansy. Here it is. All right, and you can also use dioxazine purple if you want, which will make it a dark purple. There we go, which is what I used over here. Okay, so it's all about reversing these colors to the other side. Now, so I might decide to use the Juneberry a little bit later. So let's get the cobalt. Okay, and I might need tips of white to change that. But if I use violet pansy with the purple, I don't have to use white. Okay, just the two together and give you a rich color. And I can put white on the outside edges. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3/4 inch flat and dampen it. All right, so let's work over here with the purples. All right, so I can take a little bit of white and some violet pansy. So you're working that in. Okay. Now I'm going to have deep, pretty centers. So I'm going to come down right in here in between. All right, and then on top of this, do the bigger petals on top. Okay. Now I just base coated that in, and so what I need to do is we're going to wrap it around the outside. Isn't that going to be pretty? And a little bit there on the outside. Okay, so I can add a little bit of dioxazine purple. And I want to blend this a little bit better. A little bit of white. A little bit here. All right, and I picked up a little bit more dioxazine. All right, and a little bit out here. I don't want that streak of white. I want to blend it in. All right, so right across here is going to be the center, but the center is not going to go in yet. Okay, now I'm going to pick up some dioxazine and I'm going to add little purples on the outside edge. So I've got that white showing too much. So let's bring the purple up there. There we go. Now, can you see that these petals are in between, kind of? in between each of these petals. There we go. All right, so I want this one darker than the other one for sure. And then I'm going to pick up some more from here. See the violet pansy? Shows on the outside edge. And these are going to be fuller in here. But see, I don't have enough violet pansy on there. There we go. And remember, the center has a big, pretty center, so I don't have to worry about it coming all the way down in the middle. Okay, one more. There we go. All right, so this purple is going to really stand out, but I have to make sure that that light green doesn't show through. And I decide if I want a little bit more. Okay. I'm going to come back and shade some whites in there a little bit better. Okay, so here's violet pansy with the lavender. The white is worked into that, so the white shows through, right? So I'm going to take it around the edge and take this one around the edge. Okay. So I'm still getting white, and watch what's going to happen. I come over here and work it into the violet pansy. So I'm not going to put leaves on here. I'm just going to keep working on the pretty shades of flowers. There we go. And I'm going to come bring some from down here too. So it looks pretty when you hang at the corners. Okay, so let's bring some of our light purple with cobalt. All right, so I'm going to come out here. And this is some flowers, garden flowers I saw. And they had all these popping up together. And so I need to add a little bit of white to that cobalt, so that when I come in here on the cobalt, shows nice. See, each one of these had either purples or pretty whites. All right, so we're going to look at this and figure out what's our next best color. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to do my magentas. And I could add some Juneberry, because Juneberry is going to help this get that look I want. Is kind of in between the purple and the magenta. All right, so I'm not going to clean the brush because it's kind of fun to get all these colors. So I'm going to pick up the magenta, and we're going to do this one up here. That almost looks like Juneberry right there. I'm going to wipe some of that off so that it's more magenta and white. There we go. All right, so you can see I decided to change that up a little bit. All right. And we're going to do another one in here. Another one in here. Okay, so let's get magenta again. Magenta. There we go. Now let's come right here. I need white. There. All right. Okay. And we want to make some of that out here too. See, I'm doing these edges out here. Because by the time we put the center, it's going to look good. All right, so this one in the middle, I want the Juneberry and the magenta. Juneberry to these back here. See, those are going to come all in here. And between each one, do you see that? Between each one. And then what happens is that we're going to go back and overstroke those. Let's see, I'm going to get some magenta and Juneberry so it's really bright. And there we go. Magenta, Juneberry, stroke the white. So we keep stroking this. All right. Come all the way down. So I need more of the Juneberry back. And there we go. That's going to be a big, like the biggest flower in here. It's going to be right there. Okay. So I'm going to pick up some pinks with the purple. I'm bringing it a little bit darker. There we go. See that? Now I am picking up, I grabbed the cobalt and putting magenta on the outside edge. There we go. See how the pretty colors, we're going to make it look really realistic soon, and which gives it a really nice effect. And I'm going to wipe this off. Let's just try washing it and see what happens. Okay, a little bit of this aqua with, I know this is more of a different kind of blue, but I think the aqua with some citrus will give us a really nice look over here. All right, so we're going to come right here, and that'll bring the green from the other end in, right? Okay, and we're going to get more citrus and white. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here. A little bit more white. So we're coming in between each one of these. There we go. And this just all light over here. I'm going to bring those around the back. Okay, so what's going to happen, I'm not going to bring any more, I'm not going to do white flowers because that won't pull in our look, okay? But let's, I need some more citrus. And I'm not going to bring in yellow, we'll just keep, we'll do this one probably all citrus and white. That'll make it pop. Okay, more citrus green. But I can, let me do this one, the citrus. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll put the aqua on the outside. There we go. Isn't that kind of fun? It's just a fun project. And if you like flowers, it's a little bit more contemporary, but it's fun. Okay. All right, so I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to do citrus and white. There we go. I'll find a place I can work it in. Okay, so I'm coming here every other one. Okay. Isn't that kind of fun? All right, so you see how the colors are evolving across? I think that really makes it, so when we do realistic centers and we do some shading, this is going to be fun. So let's see if I like it better with the green on the outside. Now I like the white. Okay, so we'll just go stroke right over that. So it's kind of fun to create it with you and see what y'all think. All right. And there we go. This one still needs to be cleaned up. There we go. All right, so I lost my white there. I can come back. Now what we have to do is all the centers I need to scruffy those in. All right, and I'm going to use different colors. Let's see what colors we're going to use. And okay, so here's the flowers I'm taking this from. See, they're a real photograph of flowers. And so I'm going to pounce the center, and they're all going to be like the dioxazine purple is what it shows, all the centers. So I'm taking a dry scruffy and I'm pouncing. This one's going to have a big center. And then the rest of these, this isn't going to look like much until we put the white on this one. I put a little bit of violet pansy in there so it kind of shows. Okay. See, that purple looks good on all of those. Let me show you. That'll look good. Purple. Well, I think maybe we should use some cobalt on this one. Cobalt. And then purple. There we go. All right. So I am going to put just a touch of white on this one on the outside edge. Okay. Little taps of white. All right, all the way around the edge. We're going to go tap, tap, tap all the way around the edge of this. Okay. See how that gives it some little brightness? And all the way around here. And then same thing along here. So I have the darkness that I need. And also the lightness by putting that on the outside edge. There we go. We're going to take it all the way around. And all the way, see the little bits of white as I take it around really adds to it. Tap, tap, tap. All right. There we go. Okay. Let's get a little bit more white. Now this is my scruffy brush. The scruffy brush works great for this. We don't use water. It's all dry. And we come in. I want this to be a perfect circle, and I just have to keep going over that a little bit. And when we come in with some depth on here, it's going to really help it. So, okay, so look how pretty all those shades are. And now we're going to let that dry for a few minutes, and then we're going to do more detail. Okay, I've finished some of these on here, and I want you to see that we have the little centers to put in here and showing you how we can, let me get you some paper towels here. So, you can see where I put white around some areas. already. Okay. There, I want to put it up a little bit so it doesn't have a glare on it. And so let's look at what's going to happen here. I'm going to take this 8 flat and do dioxazine purple on it on both sides. And then I want to side load wicker white. All right, so I'm going to come around and pull these little strokes all the way around. Now I've done this on all of the centers, but I just want to do one center all the way around. And this background and many other backgrounds are available on my one stroke group under backgrounds. It was a whole workshop of 9 different backgrounds. And look how it made this piece look so much different. All right, so that's the first row all the way around. Now, after I scruffied, I put the dark oxazine purple in the center. And then I'm going to put 2 rows of strokes all the way around. And see that dark is still in the middle. Okay, and then I did come in here and get the dioxazine purple. And then I'm going to go back and forth until I get a lavender. All right, so then I go right in here and do a shading on the center. Okay, so then I take the one script liner and I'm going to come around. There's 2 things I can come around with. I can just pick up thick white. I did this in some of these where I went around the edge. Thick paint, and this is a little bit smaller than the handle of a brush. All right, and then I can get citrus green or aqua and put that right there on the center. Okay, so I'm going to take my filbert, so it's got a rounded edge. I'm going to dry it on paper towel, then pick up medium. And so what I want to show you along here is that I did the background with white. I'm going to show you how I made those happen. I'm going to pick up white and I'm going to come around here and pull. And I can stand up and go all the way to the edge. See, it's rounded at the tip, so. Okay. Now, I'll show you what to do if you get carried away here. So, pull, pull. Pull from these edges. Okay, so I went all the way around there. And then what happens if that doesn't, if I get carried away and I'm not happy, I want you to see how I pulled it back in. So I'm using Juneberry. And I can pull it back out. Okay. So we just pull out into there a little bit. All right, so then I had a little bit more. See the darkness in here? I came back in here to dioxazine purple. So you put purple in between, dioxazine purple. See how rich that makes that? So this is all about shading. Now, what looks really good is you can take one of these flowers and just one of these and make an oversized painting with one of these flowers, showing you all the different shading. So I'm going to come over here. There we go. See how that makes it? Now this is, this one is a little bit of white, and I worked it till it was lavender. Do you see that? That's the same thing that happened over to these. All right. So I want to pick up some purple. Yeah, we're getting all this color in here. And I like to use a flat brush, so I'm going to come on with a medium and get the flat brush, because then what happens, okay, okay. Put some darker purple down in these corners. So this one, I just worked it till I got the lavender color. So let me show you what happens there. All right, I also, look, I also had some purple come in here. Just wanted you to see how that makes such a difference. All right. Okay, so let's pick up lavender. So I work till I got a nice lavender color. And then I take purple, not white, but lavender. Okay, so look what happens. And then I'm pulling. Okay, see how I get the shading? Okay, so let's turn this around and let's work on the aqua. Okay, so what happens, I'm going to get aqua and right. So I put I put the aqua around the edge. And then I worked in aqua and white. Okay. And put in all in here, this aqua and white. All right. So I can come over here too. See this one? All right. So same thing happened here. We can just take there we go. All right, so let's look at that. There we go. So I took the purple, dioxazine purple, cobalt blue, worked in white, and then citrus green. And then all through here, let's get our citrus for the center. I'm going to take the handle of my brush and dip dot into each one of these. So make sure these, I tried to do it, I didn't have fresh paint, makes a big difference. Okay. So there we go. Hope you enjoy. Fun project, just doing a few flowers. You don't have to do all of these. Just pick one that you really like and use the whites and the darker tones of it to shade. Okay. The only last thing I wanted to share with you is that I can come along in here and take a darker tone like the dioxazine purple, and I can go around. I did on here. I can go around and get a deeper purple. And it'll set some of that shading in there. All right. And you can come around here and get some darker purple and get just some depth in there. Let's get a little bit more. There we go. So sign it with pride and you're done. Okay, thank you guys. See you next time.